Hello everyone and welcome back to another special video here on the channel. And today we're going to be doing a previous video that I did covering all the A tier levels in the game. These are not the best of the best, the cream of the crop. These are the levels that got somewhere close, or on the bottom end of the spectrum are really close to B tier, which are just like good levels, but they're not great. I will also be covering how much their positions have changed. Almost all of them have moved down. There's one that's moved up. And also levels from last year's video that have not been in this video, which there's a lot. So let's get started with our highest level in B tier, just because why not? And that would be Dino Disco. I'm not going to spend that much time on this level. So it was in S tier the last time I filmed this video, but now I've since moved it down. It's just kind of boring. It's okay. I mean, it's Dino Disco, you know? That's really much all I have to say about this. So actually, let's talk about a bunch of the levels that were in last year's video that are not in this year's video. Starting us off is Fairy Tale, which moved down 30 spots and was currently, or in last year's video, was last place in it. It's now pretty middle B tier, honestly. Just because, I don't know, it's just kind of easy, you know? And also the tier rework played a huge kind of role in that, like it shifted everything around a bit. Up next is Dinosaur Valley, moving down 34 spots and also in middle D tier. This level is honestly just kind of challenging and it can be kind of unfair. It's also kind of boring. The routing style is very old Minimax type, which, as we all know, they're kind of getting used to things, so it's kind of why it's down here. Then we have Psychedelic Music moving down 25 spots, mostly just because of the tier rework. Nothing really changed with my opinion on it. I think the tier work is just kind of the sole reason that this level and the next one moved down. And that next level would be Relics, moving down 25 spots for pretty much the exact same reasons. Yeah, just the tier rework kind of doing its job on it. Then we have the Brazil Carnival moving down 19 spots, also in B tier. A little bit on the higher side, though. Once again, a huge thing to this is the tier rework, but also the fact that, you know, I just never come back to this level. Like I said, it's probably one of the most forgotten levels in the game, and like I said that last time, too. So yeah, kind of sad, because I was really looking forward to this level when it came out. Up next, we have the only level on this list that has moved down further than B tier. We have Lively Spirits, which was in A tier the last time and is now in C tier, falling 60 spots. It fell pretty hard. That also gives you a pretty good number of how many levels are in B tier now. It's kind of insane. Yeah, I mean, sure, you could say anything you want about the music. That's still not really a huge reason as to why this level is down here. It's just kind of boring now, honestly. I still think Bouncing City is worse, but they're literally right next to each other. Up next, we have Dynamic Cube falling 25 spots. This one is solely because of the tier rework. Street Basketball, VR Fairyland, and Dazzle are all moved down 21 spots and are all only moving down because of the tier rework. Knit Kingdom fell 27 spots and is now in B tier, mostly because I used to hate this level and then I think I liked it too much, so now I think the B tier middle of B tier, actually more on the higher side, is a good spot for this level. Falling 46 spots is Firefly Valley, and the reason it was even in A tier last time is because it literally had come out, I think, 2 updates before, because for reference, the last video was filmed the Desolate Area and Radiant Shadow update. So yeah, it came out really recently, and I just had no accurate representation of where to put it, and low B tier honestly fits this level quite well. Speaking of Knit Kingdom, we have Sewing Factory falling 23 spots into high B tier, basically just because of the tier rework, honestly. Same thing also goes for Cube, also falling 23 spots. Falling 36 spots, we have Halloween, where once again, I think I just overplaced it. Like, I just got too much of a nostalgia factor, and it was just too high in A tier, honestly. Now, pretty middle of the road B tier is where this level stands. But the largest fall by far of any level on last year's list is Kepler's Dream, falling 64 spots, and is now the lowest level in B tier. This is the lowest on the list, and you know, that's just what happened, I guess. I very much overplaced the level. I had no idea why I was even up that high anyway. Like, this should have been B tier. Similarly, Monster Chorus falling 63 spots, the third worst level in B tier. If you're wondering why it's not the second worst, a new level was released that was just placed there. So yeah, falling 63 spots. Monster Chorus also just, I have no idea why that was even in the A tier anyway. Falling 30 spots, we have the Winter. It's a 1-star. I think I just overplaced it, but still, it's in very high B tier. The Day of the Dead, also falling 30 spots, was also kind of new. I mean, it was a year old at this point, but still, I once again just overplaced it. Falling 48 spots, we have a level, Mechanical Power, that was probably hit the hardest. Like, one of the levels hit the hardest by the tier rework, falling 48 spots, like I said, just because of the tier rework. Egypt was also hit hard by the tier rework, falling 32 spots. Like main level, like bonus level, I guess, because Stars fell 62 spots, also low in B tier. Yeah, wow, I once again significantly overplaced this level. It's just kind of boring. And lastly, we have Otherworld falling 55 spots. Once again, just overplaced it significantly. The main level is definitely better than this one. I had no idea why I placed it above it. But with all of that, let's get to the actual contenders of this list. Don't get scared. Moon That Night Movement is still in S tier. I'm talking about all three of the error levels right now in 44th, 43rd, and 42nd place. In that order, it would be Parade Pageantry Error, 44th place, Pipeline Error, 43rd place, and Moon That Night Movement Error, 42nd place. It's just a soundtrack change. I would have put them higher a while ago, but honestly, it's literally just that, a soundtrack change. So, I feel like this is a fair placement for them. Honestly, they could have been B tier, so they should be proud of this placement. Our first level that's actually in the game, in 41st place, Monody, falling 17 spots from last year. This level is still a really fun one to come back to. It has a great collab with the Fat Rat. It was an amazing introduction to Crowns. I saved this level as my 200th episode of Deeper Dive for a reason. It's really solid, definitely deserving of being an A tier, although it is near the bottom. Up next, falling 25 spots, we have Phantom Thief. This level had come out probably around 3 months before I filmed the other video, the original one. So there's a little bit of recency bias going on. Although when initially released, it was definitely S tier, so I'm glad I moved it down before filming the last one. Even then, it's still a little challenging, reducing the replayability a little bit, but I still love the concept, and the soundtrack of this level is just such a banger. In 39th place, and falling 17 spots as well, we have Forest V1, not V2. This was literally just a hit from the tier rework. I mean, it could be higher. It also just new levels being released. There's a lot of new levels near the top of this list. So a lot of the levels near the lower end were probably higher in A tier. They were just hit hard by the tier rework, and that's definitely the case for Forest V1. In 38th place and falling 16 spots as well, Forest V1 fell 16 spots, not 17. We have Samba. And this level, once again, for the same reasons, it literally just got hit by the tier rework. I still love everything the same about this level. I mean, it has a fun soundtrack and a pretty solid everything else. In 37th place, we have Alone, Alan Walker, falling 29 spots from last year. It's by far the worst Alan Walker level just because of the ending. I still stick by that. It also got hit by the tier rework, but I also moved it down quite a few spots as well, just because the ending, I just played it more and I still hate it. Even with practice, it's pretty unfair, so that's just my opinion on it. In 36th place, we have the Shadow Warrior falling 24 spots. once again, mostly because of the tier rework. I think that's pretty much the only reason it fell at all. It still has a amazing soundtrack. As like honestly okay actually. The routing is honestly what helps this level for me. Honestly, it feels really good. I love the routing of this level. It's quite nice. The slow ball speed quite works here, and it kind of reminds me of the main level, except this main level is in C tier. So yeah, very solid level. In 35th place, falling 16 spots, we have E-Labyrinth, only falling from the tier rework. I actually think I moved it up after the tier rework too. So yeah, it's one of the most nostalgic 2016 levels as a day one player. I'm honestly surprised there wasn't any E-Labyrinth references in this anniversary level. I mean, there might have been. I just didn't realize it, but like, it's such a classic level. It's definitely one of the most recognizable levels of this game. So yeah, I feel like I have to keep it in at least A tier here. Falling 23 spots and in 34th place, we have Happy. Falling mostly because of the tier rework, but I also moved it down a few spots. Just because I never really come back to this level. I mean, it's actually a lot more replayable than it would seem for a hard 5-star. I think it's a lot harder, or a lot easier than Competition Park and like Pipeline and all of that. Even though it is categorized as a 6-star, I think it's quite easy to perfect for a 6-star. Still a pretty fun level though. In 34th place, falling 31 spots, second place last year. 32 spots, sorry. We have Enchanted Lamp. This level had just came out as well, although I think I just somehow overrated this level. I honestly have no idea why it was that high in A tier. I think it's kind of a mistake. It's honestly not that good of a level. I think Ginny is much better. We will see it a lot later as well. So yeah, honestly, a really weird placement on my part. Don't really know why it was that high up there. It was actually supposed to be number 1 too, but I flip-flopped it last second for last year's first place. So yeah, I don't really know why I did that. In 32nd place, this level did not rise, nor did it fall. It was in 32nd place last year as well. Tropical Tides. The tier rework did not hit this level at all, and I didn't decide to move it either. So like, nothing happened to this level. I'd still like it for the music. I still know it on keyboard. If you remember me saying that last year, I taught myself how to play it. Like, it's fun. I mean, like, it's a 1-star though. That's the reason it's here. I mean, it just didn't get hit. It literally was not affected, so it didn't move at all. In 31st place, we have our first level that was new. It was not released at the time of my last video. We have Canyon Encounters. Sorry, Canyon Encounters Glazer. Sorry about that. I have Axel Walt's a nice tier, but we can't all be winners. Because this level's okay. It's much better than Monster City, I'll say that. I do think Abyss Drops is quite a bit better, though. It's still S tier worthy. This level is okay. Like, soundtrack is fine, I guess. It's just kind of boring. I feel like I honestly forget this level exists quite a bit. Kind of the same situation as Brazil Carnival. It's just one of those forgettable 4-star main levels. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. In 30th place, falling 20 spots, we have Venus. Venus is a pretty fun level. I mean, it's pretty okay, you know. Yeah, that's once again pretty much all that I have to say. It's a 1-star. It really only fell because of the tier rework. It's much better than its other 2 levels, so good for it, I guess. In 29th place, we have our first level to fall out of S tier into the A tier, falling 32 spots, Fantastic Sweet House. This level it's fun. It's fun. I love the obstacles, love the idea, love the soundtrack. It's just not as fun as I initially thought it was for quite a while. I've decided recently to move it down into A tier and low A tier at that, because I kind of forget this level exists oftentimes. And it's also just, its routing is okay. And the exact same thing is happening to a very similar level, Rainbow Castle, falling 34 spots, also falling out of S tier, in 28th place on this list. It was a pretty new level at the time, and I just overrated it again, I guess. I still think this level is better than Happy. Obviously, it's higher than it on this list. But, yeah, I mean, I think I just kind of thought it was much better than it is. It's now quite a forgettable 3-star. Falling 22 spots, we have Tactic Core. Tactic Core is it was the first level of 2024. It is okay, you know, it's much better than Mecha. I will give it that. Mecha is just okay. But this level, I think, has a really solid soundtrack and all of that. However, it's just not really good enough to be S tier, and I think it will probably always be A tier. I don't think there's anything that's going to get it out of B tier. In 26th place, we have Musical Theater, falling 23 spots. I don't even want to say this one was hit significantly by the tier rework, because it really wasn't. I kind of moved it down myself. I significantly overplaced this level. I think it's honestly really annoying to rebeat. It's just kind of long and annoying, and that's kind of its only thing holding it back. Everything else is pretty solid about it. I just really hate rebeating this level. In 25th place, falling 21 spots, is Starlight Desert, literally only falling from the tier rework. That is the only reason it is falling like that. Yeah, that's the only reason. And in 24th place, we have Biology Lab, falling 15 spots. Once again, just because of the tier rework. I have nothing against this level. In fact, I probably held it back from falling further than it probably could have. And in 23rd place, we have a new level, Trailblaze, which was released just a few updates ago. And, I mean, the reason it's down here is because the replayability of this level sucks. I think this is the hardest level in the game. I don't care what y'all say. Time Memory is very much easier than Trailblaze. That's just my opinion. I think that this level is a lot harder to beat and replay. If you suck at diagonal tiles, don't play this level. Diagonal tiles aren't even that bad for me, and like I still hate coming back to this level for replayability, so that's kind of the reason that it's down here. Everything else is pretty solid. I love the soundtrack. There's a reference to pretty much every co-creation level in this level, whether it's like its routing style or decoration, so that's also really cool. Once again, our only fan-made level on this list, falling 16 spots in 22nd place, we have the Breezy Summer. Once again, just a fall because of the tier rework. The ending still sucks, still hate the ending, but other than that, still a great level, really fun. Now, the only level on this list to move up spots from C tier, last time it was in C tier, all the way up to A tier, jumping up 68 spots, we have Spring Festival. This level is hella underrated. Nobody in my comment sections even agrees with me, which is like crazy because normally there's at least one person that like sucks up to me and like actually agrees with my opinion, but literally no one agrees with my opinion on this. Y'all are sleeping on this level. It is much better than it gets its rep for. Sure, it's long and just kind of random, but at least it sticks with that gimmick, and I honestly love this level for it. Granted, I can't give it S tier for the reason that it is just unnecessarily long like that, but I want to see this level get a bonus, you know? It's still possible, so yeah, let's go for it, Minimax. In 20th place, falling 17 spots, we have Harmonic Streets. And this level is, it's just okay, you know? I mean, the route is probably the thing holding it back. It's say it with me, way too short, but, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Melodic Metropolis is definitely a much better level, but yeah, that's about it. In 19th place, we have a new level, Chieftain. It's just kind of okay. I initially put it in S tier, but that was definitely an overration, if that's a word, on my part. I put it a little higher than it probably should have been. I know a lot of people probably put it S tier. I love the theme and all of that, but I mean, I think it's just kind of boring, and once again, one of those forgettable main level 4 stars. In 18th place, we have another level that fell out of S tier, falling 23 spots. We have Temple Fair. And this level just fell out of S tier because it's kind of forgettable. It's a 2-star, so most 2-stars are. It's just kind of okay, you know. I mean, it could be better, but it's just Temple Fair, you know. Our first of 3 love-themed levels in a row, we have Out of Control, a new level. This level, once again, like I said, was not out the last time, and it's very similar to Furnace. Honestly, they would have been right next to each other a few months ago, but I've since moved Furnace a lot further up. This level's still pretty good, though. It's much better than Heartbreak. Its routing is really good. I do have an issue with like the ending of its soundtrack for being way too quiet, even quieter than Fireworks soundtrack, which shouldn't be in my top 10. Yeah, wow, I mean, that's my only complaint with this level. In 16th place, another new level, also love-themed. We have Passionate Love. it's pretty solid. I actually think this is one of the less forgettable 4-star main levels that Minimax did because of the dual portals. Those are some crazy dual parts, and I love it because it actually represents like in a romantic relationship there is two people. So I think that's pretty cool to have that, and it even forces you to do an asymmetrical duel, which this is the first level to make the player do an asymmetrical duel even if you're not 100%ing the levels, which is pretty cool. And the last of the Love trilogy, in 15th place, we have Romantic Afternoon, also a new level. The first of 2025, if you don't count Sugarfall also being there. A pretty solid level. I would come back to play this. It's pretty solid. I like it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. It also tells kind of the same story about Passionate Love does, although I think this level is a lot more emotional with the combination of its soundtrack and its routing. Speaking of Furnace, in 14th place we have Furnace, falling 9 spots from last year. And, you know, I mean, my beef with this level is that there's no crowns, and I think the only reason they did that is because they just released it in an update where the other level had no crowns, the Wizard of Oz. Although I think the Wizard of Oz is okay to have no crowns, because I think the vibe they're going for there was like nostalgia 2016. The vibe they were going for with this level was definitely not nostalgia 2016. I hope they weren't, because this level reminds me nothing of 2016, whereas the Wizard of Oz does. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of why this level that is here. That's my complaint with it, honestly. But other than that, I love the soundtrack, and the routing can be a bit boring sometimes too, but I think it's actually pretty fun. In 13th place, we have another new level, Twilight Karst Cave. This level has an okay routing, I guess. That's kind of what brings it down, though, I think. I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack's really cool. I love the decoration, too. A very unique theme that we really hadn't seen before. Love that from co-creation levels. But like I said, the routing is kind of what brings it down. It's, once again, just another one of those forgettable 4-star main levels. And the third co-creation level in a row, we have Newborn in 12th place. And it's also new to this list. I mean, like, I don't even know what to say about this level. I kind of forgot this level existed for quite a while, but like now that I do remember, it's pretty solid. I like the music. I like the routing. It's kind of the closest that we get to a Christmas level. It's really fun, solid level overall. One of the last of 2024, and I'd say it's pretty good. In 11th place, we have the newest co-creation level as of me recording this, City of Tomorrow. It's a solid level. Love the Robotoy power-up usage in this level. It honestly works really well. Soundtrack is okay. That's kind of my big complaint with this level. I think the soundtrack could have been better. Also, the theme is just really generic, but I love how they routed this level, so I'm definitely going to give it A tier for the reason that they did that and the way that they did it. Even the hidden 10th anniversary reference at the end. And in 10th place, the 5th co-creation level in a row, and the last for now. Also a new level, Beach Harbor, taking off the top 10. This level is significantly better than Lighthouse Alley. It's like very much better than Lighthouse Alley. It's literally like 3 tiers above it. And I just love the soundtrack of this level. They routed it quite well. Hated this level's weekly match. Just saying that, it was awful, like one of my least favorites. But you know what would be my favorite? The basketball weekly match, so I could destroy it. Double emoji, double emoji, double emoji. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this level, honestly. Very solid, kicking up the top 10. In 9th place, moving down by 4 spots, we have New Year. 5 spots. We have New Year. And this level was a really fun one when it came out. Honestly, I don't really come back to this level as much, but it's not even because it's like unreplayable. It's actually just because I honestly forget it exists sometimes. For a 6-star, this level is pretty easy. I mean, granted, it is the easiest 6-star on the level list. But still, it's a very fun level, honestly, and I wouldn't mind coming back to it. The reason it's not S tier is honestly just because I think that the soundtrack is kind of holding it back a little bit. Even then, I still think it's a very solid level, and I do like it a lot. In 8th place, we have Nuclear Energy falling 28 spots from S tier. Yeah, I mean, this level definitely it didn't get hit by the tier rework for sure, because the higher up levels really didn't get hit by it. But this was definitely just my own choice to move it down, because I think I very much placed it a little bit too high. It's much better than Biology Lab. I just think that the routing is probably the thing holding it back a little bit from S tier. It's a little challenging for me to want to come to replay it as much as I probably could. But the highest fall of any level that's actually in A tier on this list is Game Zone, falling 59 spots from S plus tier, which it was my 9th favorite level in the game at the time. I think I moved it down like really soon after that. I mean, like, that's just a really outdated spot, so I'm glad that I moved it down. Here, I mean, it's not bad by any means. It's like much times better than Competition Park still, but I significantly overrated. I think once again still better than Rainbow Castle though, because I have them like right next to each other for a while. In 6th place on this list we have Polar Night Wandering V2, a new level. I've seen some people putting this level a lot lower than I think I would, like F tier. That one commenter, I can't pronounce the name. There's a lot of random characters, but you know who you are. I think F tier is a little much because I think the decoration is still honestly really fire in this level. Yeah, the routing is definitely what kills this level though. I will very much give you that. Kicking off the top 5, we have Ginny falling 6 spots out of the S tier. It was literally the lowest one in the S tier. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of a solid level. Love the soundtrack, the F777 soundtrack, always solid. Fine route, it's just kind of forgettable. That's kind of why it's not an S tier anymore. In 4th place, we have Crescent Moonbeam falling 10 spots out of the S tier. That's just for its routing, essentially. I think the soundtrack is also a little bit of a reason. Actually, no, I think it's mostly the soundtrack. I think the route is still pretty good for a 2-star. It's still really close to S tier. I just don't think it could warrant it being there, right next to Masked Ball, and Masked Ball is a lot better. Kicking off the top 3 is last year's first place, Radiant Shadow, falling 2 spots. This level is actually losing to its bonus, which we will see right after this. This level, like I said, way too short. Just like Fireworks, which soundtrack shouldn't have been in my top 15, but, you know. That's the only thing this level's suffering from. It has a great route, great soundtrack, F777, of course. Not as good of a soundtrack as 2nd place, though. 2nd place, Silver Medal, goes to Kaleidoscope, and it's essentially here just for its soundtrack. Not gonna lie, its soundtrack is a huge reason that this level is here. It is basically here just for its soundtrack. That's how good of its soundtrack it is. I can't warrant it being S tier for that reason. Know that it's literally only there for its soundtrack. But let's see what number 1 is, because I think you guys are probably wondering. In 1st place, the highest level in the A tier, we have Totem. Yeah, that might be a surprise for some people, but I actually really like this level. It's a pretty solid one. I've had it in this spot since it came out, because it is a new level. It was not on this list last year. It sounds really cool. The soundtrack's pretty awesome. The route is honestly really cool. I like it a lot. I like it a lot better than Chieftain. However, I feel like I can't warrant this being S tier just because, I don't know. I don't feel like I can put it in S tier, so I think this is probably the highest that it's going to get for a while. I can see myself moving it up, though, if I do ever move the lowest level in S tier down. If you guys were wondering what that level is, it so happens to be Unlock the Future, which is just the lowest level in S tier. It's close to A tier. I moved a lot of S tier levels down in the low S tier to A tier. Like you saw in this video, like Ginny and Crescent Moonbeam, I moved down, but that level I feel like is still good to warrant itself being there. But yeah, do you guys agree with any of the placements that I have in there? Are you mad at me for putting Polar Night Wandering in A tier, or do you just hate it? I can't wait to hear you guys' opinion on Spring Festival. Ooh, overrated, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, that's it for this special video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.